Welcome to Dadograms. I'm Jason M. Garrett, and I'm here to share with you one of my very favorite pastimes. That pastime is hard work. Sound surprising? Well, to some of you it might. Lots of people believe that hard work is beneath them, and that real success comes from sitting in the air conditioning, working on a computer, sipping their coffee. But I don't think so. I think we've got this completely bass-ackwards. And I've got proof from science, from my own life, and from a fireworks tent in the middle of Kansas in the furnace heat of summer. First, I'm going to start with a study. A research study about the benefits of hard work. It involves hotel maids, cleaning ladies, most of them underappreciated and overworked. The kind of people the rest of the world walk right past without giving a second thought to. And what this study found about hard work was surprising. In 2007, researchers Ellen Langer and Alia Crum studied 84 hotel housekeepers, mostly women who cleaned rooms day after day. They vacuumed, they scrubbed bathtubs and sinks, they flipped mattresses, they pushed carts full of towels and trash down long hallways, the kind of stuff that sounds like some kind of a CrossFit workout or something. But none of these cleaning ladies saw it that way at all. They just saw it as work. And when they were asked if they ever got any exercise, most of them said no. They didn't get any kind of exercise at all. That's because we're conditioned to believe that exercise only happens in a gym. But here's the twist. The researchers told half of those maids something simple, that the work they were doing meets or exceeds the Surgeon General's recommendation for daily exercises. And then they gave them charts showing just how many calories they burned for every single room that they cleaned. They educated them on just how physically hard the work that they were already doing was compared to a gym workout. After that, these women went back to work and changed nothing about their work routine. The only thing different was that they had been enlightened to the simple fact that the physical work was a workout, and that shifted their mindset. 1 month later, when those researchers came back in and took a look, they realized that the women who believed that their work was actually a workout had lost weight, had lowered their blood pressure, had improved their body mass index or BMI, and felt more confident and energetic. Same physical work, but a new mindset, and the results were amazing. So here's what I'm saying. Just recognizing that physical labor can equate to a workout can make a real difference in your life. But beyond that, if you shift your mindset even further, you'll start to see that hard work can deliver a lot more than a paycheck. It can give you physical health, it can give you mental stimulation, it can give you emotional satisfaction, and even give you that sense of competitiveness that we all secretly crave. Let me tell you a story about me. I'm in my early 50s and I retired from the Navy a little more than a year ago after serving 28 years. I flew helicopters, deployed to war zones, led combat-capable detachments, and carried a whole lot of stress on my shoulders for years. Now, you might be thinking now that it's all over that I'd want to kick back, watch some Netflix, maybe hang out by the pool a little bit. But that's just not me. Not me at all. I like hard physical and mental work. In fact, I just spent a week out in the Kansas heat working with the family business, setting up, running, and breaking down one of the largest fireworks tents in the state. I'm talking 16-hour days, arriving about 7:30 or so in the morning, opening up that tent, working it all day long, shutting it down, and sometimes getting home well after 11 p.m. Constantly on my feet, lifting heavy boxes, walking in a mix of asphalt and gravel. Here, take a look. I've even got some videos to prove that I did it. One of my favorite things I do is put up the tent sites every single morning to let everyone know that we're open. Now, each of these strips is about 50 feet long, is made of heavy vinyl, and weighs about 60 pounds of dead weight. I roll them up, hold them in place, then I use a bungee cord to secure them, then move on to the next section. It makes the forearms burn, the biceps and shoulders strain. Most people would hate it, but I love it, because I recognize it as one hell of a good workout. And this is a 60 by 100 tent, so there's lots of lifting for me to do. All right, finally got it all done. A very good forearm workout, bicep, shoulders, all that kind of stuff. Hard work, but a good workout. And no, this is not an air-conditioned space I'm working in. This is in the middle of Kansas in the heat of the summer. It's usually in the mid-90s, and I'm sweating through my shirt by about 9 o'clock in the morning, and I don't cool back down until I'm headed home late at night. And of course, I'm not doing this by myself. I've got a whole team, and we're constantly busy lifting cases of fireworks, moving them between trucks, packing them in trailers, pulling them out to stock the tables. Most of the guys you see in this video are high school football players getting a workout off the field. Truthfully, it's hellish hard work, getting sunburned, sore, dirty, but there's a tremendous amount of satisfaction in the accomplishment of whatever it is we're doing. There is satisfaction in a job well done. It may look like grunt work to someone else, but if you really understood what it's giving each and every one of us as we do it, you might begin to see it a different way. I believe it's better than any gym membership or self-help book you'll ever be able to purchase. This is what I do every single 4th of July that I can. That's what my family does. My wife, my kids, my brother and sister and their families, even my parents, in their mid-70s now, are always there working outside just as hard as any of us. And besides the physical and mental workout, it builds a sense of camaraderie amongst the family that's hard to get any other way. There's something about a shared challenge and seeing it through to success that forges stronger bonds than just sitting around the dinner table every evening. We've been running K10 Fireworks, this particular stand, for 34 years. And we love it. And you know what? We don't do it for the money. We do it for the challenge. Physical, mental, and spiritual. Now, I bet most of you would think that this kind of hard work is some kind of punishment. But like the hotel maids, if you have the understanding of the other benefits you get from this kind of work and adjust your mind accordingly, suddenly it becomes more. You're not just clocking hours, you're improving your body. You're testing your mind. You're building endurance and resilience. And there's competition in this kind of work that we just love. Competition against other stand operators. After all, this is a business. Competition against the environment with storms and rain and tornadoes and lightning strikes. We've had it all over 34 years. And in truth, for us old timers, there's competition against time and against age. It's nothing but goodness in my mind. But here's what worries me. Somehow along the way, we the people started telling ourselves that hard physical labor is what you do if you fail. Didn't get good grades in school? Didn't go to college? Guess you'll be swinging a hammer and digging ditches the rest of your life. That's bad thinking. We've made it sound like sweat is shameful, that if your job involves muscles, it must not involve brains, that people with calluses are beneath the ones with keyboards, that the goal is always to stay away from physical work instead of leaning into it with pride. We've turned hard work into a punishment instead of a badge of honor. But that's where I believe this country's kind of going off the rails. I want to speak to a few groups out there right now. If you're in your 20s and 30s and wondering if you're too good for manual labor, you're not. And more importantly, you're missing out if you avoid it. For Pete's sakes, humankind has been working hard for survival for countless eons. What do you think is going to change all of a sudden in our DNA that would prevent us from wanting to do that? And if you're a professional in the white-collar world, good for you. Been one myself. Just don't look down on the guys lifting and fixing and driving and building and wiring the world around you, because you'd collapse without them. And for those of you who have done hard work all your life, construction, trucking, farming, cleaning, caregiving, I want you to hear this loud and clear. You're not less than, you're essential. What you're doing is holding up the rest of the system, and no matter what the tech bros or TV shows tell you, you deserve respect. You know, in the Navy, I worked with pilots, officers, and specialists of all kinds. And let me tell you something. Nothing worked without the mechanics, the fuelers, the loaders, the watchstanders, the cooks, and the deck plate sailors out in the rain and the wind doing the hard stuff. During the war in the early 2000s, I saw people work harder than I had ever seen before. We all seemed to be kind of united in a specific effort as we marched off to, I guess, get payback for when the towers fell. The first time I ever landed a helicopter on an aircraft carrier to get fuel, I was stunned by the young men and women I saw out there. They were in their late teens. They were rushing toward the aircraft to throw down chocks and strap-on chains. They wore colored jerseys, protective cranials, goggles, gloves, and they were drenched in sweat and the residue from jet exhaust. Others stood behind them, ready to tie down incoming aircraft, with chains draped over their shoulders, spring-loaded for action. They worked 12 hours straight like that, and they were proud of it. You could definitely see it in their eyes. They were proud and focused on what they were doing. They weren't just grinding, they were bonding, building trust, becoming a team in the fire of shared effort. They call it esprit de corps. They were part of an unbeatable team, and that has always stuck with me. Because whether you're on a flight deck, or at a fireworks stand, or flipping mattresses in a hotel room, hard work truly does mean something. It doesn't matter if you're 19 or 79 years old, your body was built to move. Your mind still needs a challenge, and your soul still needs the satisfaction of having something real, something useful, something hard. I once heard someone say, if you want to get strong, lift something heavy. Well, that makes sense. And if you want to feel better, move more. If you want to get in shape, do something useful. Lift boxes, pull weeds, help your neighbor roof his house, or just go out and mow your yard and hand wash your own car. 2 things my wife and I did just yesterday. Your body will thank you, your mind will thank you, and your future self will thank you too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jason M. Garrett. Thanks for watching this Dadogram, and remember, hard work isn't an insult, it's a gift. So open it.